Hello YouTubers, Usher724 here. In a previous episode, I talked about how I had found some tricks that I could use in Server 2008 to do certain things. Well, I am once again going to provide some tricks on how to do a certain subject. And that subject is taxes. Now, I'm not going to get involved to the point of like talking about heavy tax stuff and shortcuts and such. This is more to say how I decided to try to find a way to streamline how to do certain tasks for the current how to do certain tasks for the current tax season. You know, I'm not even going to try to edit that out just because it's so complicated to say. Anyways, it isn't some of the more heavier tasks as much as minor ones that are like time consuming just because it's about entering in a whole lot of data into a program. Now, with what I was trying to do, it was about entering in receipts to a program and calculating how much tax was paid, and as such, how much tax we didn't have to pay when we were sending in all the tax information. And to actually get that started, all I needed was a certain formula to work with. Now here's what I had to work with after much research. The main formula for finding tax paid in the receipt is tax paid is equal to the final receipt amount divided by 1 plus the sales tax rate. Now with that formula, I was able to calculate what all I would need to figure out. Now at the same time, I kept a note of the fact that the current tax rate is 8.25%. Now that will come in later. First, let's go to the formula. Now, with this in mind, I calculated that I could use Quicken, and using the cells and the function options in Quicken, Excel, I could enter into the cells all the information needed to figure out how much we wouldn't have to pay in taxes. Now, this is how it's set up so far. I discovered that in trying to set this up, that this formula right here, it seems sound to enter that into a cell, but it didn't work. So I ended up having to break this up and use this on its own line. Now, this worked briefly. However, how it worked was I had to enter in this data, and I did that by selecting an entire cell, and it would recognize that all those cells were being read as a certain element. Now, I had entered it in as a sum C:C, and that seemed to work for a while. I managed to do something while trying to make this video, and it ended up messing it up entirely. So I did further research and found that I could make it even simpler by doing this. Now what that is this. I was able to select this entire thing, go up here to Data, Define Range, and already you can see that I have added the name receipts to this range. It covers this entire range of cells from 1 to wherever the last one is. And once that's done, I can go over to here to the receipts total, and it is the sum is the receipts all added together. So with the receipt totals figured out, I was able to then go down to the next value. Now this is basically, well, this is where the formula will come in. I was able to take this formula and plug it in here, and that gave me how much, by subtracting the receipts. No, it buys. I did something like get it to where it would give me $50.81, and that is basically the amount of the receipts but withdrawing the amount of taxes added into it. So this is just how much is on the receipts without paying tax. Now once I had that number, I realized that I would need to figure out how much was paid in tax on all these receipts. Now these are dummy receipts, by the way, just to show you how to do this. So I go down to this line, tax paid, and this is where I plug in the rest of these numbers. B3 being the receipt totals minus B8, the amount before tax, and that will give me how much tax was paid on all these receipts. Now, this is mainly a way to simplify calculating receipts, if anyone out there actually does that. And I'll add the formulas in my YouTube video with instructions on how to do it. And I use LibreOffice to do this, so this isn't actually that hard to do. And hopefully others will be able to make use of this in doing your own taxes. That is, if you haven't sent them in already. Furthermore, this is a good reference for finding a shortcut to be able to do this in the future. Anyways, there it is. And hopefully I won't be the only one who is able to get some use out of it.